Okay, let's just jump right in with the central paradox for this deep dive.
Yeah.
We only ever live in the now, right here. It's the one constant, the only thing that's actually real. And yet, somehow, our minds are almost perfectly designed to miss it.
Exactly. They're not just designed to miss it, they seem built to actively obscure it. And that's the core argument from our sources today. The reason we struggle so much with, being present is that the second we try to understand the now,
We've already stepped out of it.
precisely, the argument is simple, but, well, it's profound. The now must be lived, not understood.
So our mission today is really to challenge that very common advice we all hear about time. We're not talking about the now as this tiny little slice of time, this moment we have to catch.
No, not at all. We're looking at sources that define it completely differently. They see it as the entire field in which time itself appears.
And this is so relevant for you, the listener, because what we're really doing is tracing the blueprint for how we experience reality, how the simple act of thinking creates sequence, space,
And the feeling of a separate self, a me that's standing apart from everything else.
So let's get into the mechanism. Our sources say it all starts with this one tiny, hidden mental gesture. The mind apparently just. It can't handle the simplicity of direct experience.
It recoils from it. It's too simple, too empty. It needs something to hold on to. So it does this incredible thing almost unconsciously. It invents what our sources call a hidden vantage point.
A vantage point, like a place to stand.
Exactly. An imaginary perch just outside the experience so it can look at the experience.
Okay, so if I'm watching a sunset, I'm not just seeing it. My mind creates a little me who's watching me watch the sunset. It's like an instant mental echo.
That's a perfect way to put it, an echo. And you're still in the experience, of course, but your mind has built this little observation deck to watch yourself being there. And the moment that happens, the second that non-existent perch is created, the universe, as you know it, just springs into being.
But how does a tiny mental shift like that create something as massive as our concept of time?
Because from that fixed imaginary point, suddenly there's movement. The now, which is totally unified and still, suddenly seems to be flowing past you.
Ah, I see. So things seem to come from behind, pass through me, and then disappear up ahead.
Right. And we give that apparent movement a name. We call it time. It's just an artifact of the viewing angle. It's not real in itself.
But the sources say it's not just time. It's a whole package deal, isn't it?
It's the whole set. Once you have that vantage point, you instantly get space, a sense of over there versus here. And if you have a here, you must have a me who is here.
And then everything else follows.
The whole thing, the observer, the object, distance, direction, before and after, gain and loss, even birth and death. An entire reality system, all resting on that one little imaginary step back.
But it feels so automatic, so real. I mean, are the sources suggesting we're supposed to fight our own minds?
That's the critical question, right? And the answer they give, going back thousands of years, is that it only feels real because we've mistaken the illusion for the foundation. This is where someone like the ancient Buddhist master Nāgārjuna comes in.
Right.
He described this perfectly. He said that whatever arises dependently is empty.
Okay, let's unpack empty, because that word can throw people off. It sounds a bit nihilistic.
It does, but that's not what it means. It just means lacking intrinsic, independent existence.
Oh.
Nothing stands on its own. So the flow of time you perceive, the distance to the wall, the you who is doing the perceiving, none of it exists by itself. It only appears because you've supplied that imaginary reference point.
The vantage point.
The vantage point. You
Yeah.
take that away, and the whole sequence just collapses.
Yeah.
The house of cards falls down because the table it was on was never there.
Which, if that's true, means that all the common advice we get, like be in the moment, must be coming from the wrong place entirely.
Exactly. It's fundamentally flawed. The sources are really clear on this. That phrase, be in the moment, is just, as they put it, the clock talking. It's the language of measurement.
It's clock talk. I get that now. Because moments are these broken up little slices, right? Ticks on a clock. Things you can count, hold, or lose.
Yes, and that's the problem. If you're chasing the moment, you're still playing the game of sequence. You're trying to catch a target that your own mind just created. But the now is different. It behaves differently.
How so? How is it different from a moment?
Well, for one, you can't slice it, and you can't count it. The now can only ever be one. It doesn't multiply, it doesn't move forward or backward. You don't need to enter it because you've never left.
So yesterday's now and tomorrow's now are the same now.
They share the exact same now. It isn't an event inside of time. It's the context for time.
That reframes everything. So
Yeah.
we're not looking for a point on a timeline. We're talking about the page the timeline is drawn on.
That's the crucial distinction. The now is the field where sequence, moments, duration, all of that appears and dissolves as needed. It's indivisible and edgeless. You can't locate it because it's not a thing in space. It is the space.
Okay, so if we accept that, even just philosophically, that this separate observer is what creates the whole illusion, what happens when that vantage point actually dissolves?
Well, the sources suggest a total collapse of that framework. We can go back to Nāgārjuna. If nothing exists on its own, including the me who thinks it's watching, then the whole system of cause and effect, of linear time, it just unravels.
It loses its meaning at that absolute level.
Right. And what's amazing is that Zen masters, centuries later, came to the exact same conclusion using completely different language.
Yeah.
Much more blunt.
Their whole practice was about stopping that mental doubling, wasn't it?
It was. Take someone like Huang-Po. He just says mind has no before and after. And that's not some floaty mystical idea. It's a direct, practical observation of what happens when you stop creating the observer. The sequence is gone.
So what does no before and after actually feel like?
It means that whole story of your life, which feels like this long movie, you suddenly see it's not a sequence. It's a single, dense, simultaneous fact of the dire. The past is just a story you're telling right now. The future is just a projection happening right now.
The moving target just stops moving because there's no one standing still to watch it go by.
Precisely. And then you have someone like Dōgen who takes that same demolition to the idea of space when he says the whole universe is the true human body.
He's not just being poetic about nature.
Not at all. He's tackling that artificial sense of over there. Once the distance between you and the thing you're looking at disappears, the idea of a separate self inside a body looking at an external world, well, it has nothing left to stand on.
It sounds like they're just building tools to short-circuit the measuring part of the mind.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Which brings us to Linji and that jarring question he always asked, what more do you lack right now?
Which is not meant to be comforting advice.
No, it's a weapon. It's a tool designed to demolish the assumption that you're missing something, that you need to get to some better time or place. It attacks spiritual seeking at its root.
So that's the real function of those Zen paradoxes, the cushions. They're not riddles to be solved.
No. They are designed to annihilate themselves when you see through them. They leave, as the sources say, no residue, no standpoint, nothing to lean on. When the vantage point is gone, the mind has nothing left to measure, and the field just reveals itself as edgeless. The search is over.
Okay, so we have this incredible map of the illusion. We see the mechanism, the structure, the collapse. And this feels like the crucial trap. Understanding all of this is still just an intellectual understanding.
And that is the final, and maybe the most important, warning from all of these sources. The mind operates on what they call conventional truth. Definitions, timelines, stories.
And conventional truth is useful, right? We need it to schedule meetings, to build a bridge.
Absolutely. It's essential for daily life. It gets your taxes filed. But it's also, as one source says, completely useless for understanding the now. It's the wrong tool for the job.
And if we try to use it, if we try to define the now, we fall into that trap you mentioned. The mind always arrives late.
The analogy they use is so vivid. The mind is like someone running after a sun that has already set. It forms a clear image, a concept, a memory of immediacy only after immediacy has already passed.
So that feeling of, aha, I get it, is always a photograph of a moment ago.
Always. Which is why Zen is so insistent on brutal directness. It's the only way to bypass the mind's habit of making an image of reality instead of just touching reality. The second you define the now or turn it into an object or try to stay in it,
You're back in imagination. You stepped out of it again.
instantly, and that old universe just springs right back to life. Me here, watching that over there, the separation is back.
But the beauty of this, then, is what's left when that illusion drops. It's not some special state we have to achieve.
No, there's no now to practice. There's no moment to enter, no state to maintain. All that's left is what the sources call this unbroken immediacy. Simple, ordinary, complete.
It's realizing that reality never needed your help in the first place. You were just busy inventing the problem of time while standing in the middle of the solution.
That's the big takeaway. The now isn't something you achieve. It's the fundamental reality that was always here, just hidden by the constant reflexive habit of looking for a place to stand.
And this has to be the final provocative thought they leave us with, even if everything we've just discussed makes perfect logical sense to you, if you feel like you have total intellectual clarity.
That is still not it. And in fact, that perfect understanding can become the most subtle trap of all. It's just a really good story about reality.
Right, it's like describing the taste of coffee.
Mm.
You can be perfect. You can talk about the acidity, the notes of chocolate, the temperature, the aroma, but no matter how good your description is,
Yeah.
it has absolutely nothing to do with the taste. You only know when you drink it.